This video contains reports of domestic disputes and court proceedings. Viewer discretion is advised.
This has been a very, very, very difficult time. It's so hard to go through a divorce.
Hollywood's golden couple just shattered into a million pieces.
Denise, can you make a comment on Aaron's arrest?
It was a little shocking to end up in the clink.
And what emerged from the wreckage is more terrifying than anyone could have imagined.
How will this affect Aaron's case?
Behind the glamorous Instagram posts and reality TV smiles, a nightmare was allegedly unfolding that would end in handcuffs,
Aaron removed from the courthouse in handcuffs last month,
restraining orders, and criminal charges that could send someone to prison for years. Denise Richards seemed to have it all figured out. After surviving one of Hollywood's messiest divorces with Charlie Sheen, she'd found her happily ever after with Aaron Phypers, a holistic healer who ran a mysterious wellness center in Malibu. They looked perfect together at red carpet events, gushing about their love on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She'd even launched a new reality show with him called Denise Richards and Her Wild Things, showing off their blended family life. But everything you saw on screen was allegedly a carefully constructed lie, and the truth that came out would shock even the most cynical Hollywood observers. Their love story started innocently enough. Back in 2017, Richards walked into Quantum 360, Phypers' holistic healing center in Malibu, looking for something called preventative DNA repair. She was intrigued by this handsome healer who talked about frequency medicine and breaking down barriers to wellness. They started chatting, realized they knew the same people, shared similar interests. What began as a professional relationship quickly turned romantic. Just 15 months after they started dating, in September 2018, Phypers proposed. 2 days later, they were married in an intimate Malibu ceremony. Richards wore a romper with a detachable tulle skirt instead of a traditional wedding gown, leaving the reception on the back of his motorcycle. It seemed spontaneous, passionate, meant to be. Phypers even started the adoption process for Richards' youngest daughter, Eloise, who has special needs. When Eloise called him dad for the first time in 2020, it seemed like proof that this blended family was thriving. But apparently, that fairy tale was hiding something much darker. The cracks didn't just appear suddenly. For several years, the marriage appeared stable to outsiders. They appeared together on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and later starred in their own Bravo reality show, Denise Richards and Her Wild Things, which premiered in early 2025. In interviews leading up to the show, Richards spoke positively about their relationship. In March 2025, she told Bravo's Daily Dish that she and Phypers enjoyed being together, and that he was her best friend. She emphasized the importance of quality time together for maintaining a strong marriage. Just months later, everything would change. On July 7, 2025, Aaron Phypers filed for divorce in Los Angeles Superior Court. He cited irreconcilable differences and listed July 4th as their date of separation. In the filing, Phypers requested spousal support from Richards. He disclosed that his wellness business had closed in 2024 and that he currently had no income. He estimated that Richards earned approximately $250,000 per month from various sources, including exclusive fan subscriptions, television appearances, and brand deals. The filing also detailed their monthly expenses, which he estimated at around $105,000, including rent, food, and entertainment. Phypers requested to keep certain personal assets, including his motorcycle and sports car. At this point, it seemed like it might be a standard celebrity divorce involving financial disputes. But 9 days later, on July 16th, Richards filed her own legal documents that told a very different story. She requested a restraining order against Phypers, and the allegations she made were serious. According to court documents, Richards claimed that Phypers had been mistreating her throughout their marriage. She described multiple alleged incidents spanning several years, citing instances of severe physical conflict and threatening behavior. She included photographs as evidence, which court documents state depicted visible harm sustained during these alleged altercations from an incident she claimed occurred in January 2022. Richards stated in her filing that she had been afraid to come forward earlier because Phypers had allegedly threatened serious consequences if she reported the alleged abuse to authorities. The court reviewed her petition and granted a temporary restraining order on July 16th, the same day she filed. The order required Phypers to stay at least 100 yards away from Richards, her home, her workplace, and her vehicles. The court also ordered him to return electronic devices and prohibited him from sharing private information about Richards. A hearing was scheduled for August to determine whether the temporary order should be made permanent. As news of the filing spread, Phypers quickly issued a statement denying everything. He told People magazine that he had never abused or emotionally mistreated Denise or anyone. He called the accusations completely false and deeply hurtful, stating that while they'd faced challenges like any couple, any suggestion of harmful behavior was categorically untrue. He said he'd always approached their marriage with love, patience, and respect. However, Richards' attorney fired back with their own statement, claiming that Phypers had continued contacting Richards even after being served with the restraining order, including allegedly sharing private information about her without consent. But things were about to take an even more dramatic turn. In October 2025, a multi-day hearing was held to determine whether the temporary restraining order should become permanent. Richards took the witness stand and provided testimony about the alleged incidents she'd referenced in her initial filing. She became emotional during portions of her testimony, according to reports from people who were present in the courtroom. What happened next shocked everyone in attendance. Richards wasn't the only witness called that day. Phypers' own cousin, Kathleen McAllister, also testified during the proceedings. According to reports, McAllister corroborated some of Richards' claims, stating that she had personally witnessed at least one incident involving physical contact between Phypers and Richards. The testimony from his own family member sent shockwaves through the courtroom. What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're enjoying the story so far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Okay, now back to the story. Then came the moment no one saw coming. During the proceedings, law enforcement officers took Phypers into custody right there in the courtroom on serious charges. He was charged with 2 counts related to spousal conflict and 2 counts related to interference with a witness, stemming from alleged incidents in 2017 and 2022. Phypers was taken away in restraints, though he posted $200,000 bond later that day and was released. His legal case was scheduled to proceed separately, with a court date set for December 2025. The tension continued to build as everyone waited for the judge's final decision. On November 7, 2025, the judge made the final ruling on the restraining order. The judge granted Richards a permanent restraining order that will remain in effect until November 7, 2030, a full 5 years. In his ruling, the judge stated that the situation appeared to be a classic case of domestic conflict from his perspective. He noted that Phypers could not take private information and share it publicly without consequences. The order requires Phypers to maintain a distance of 100 yards from Richards and her workplace, prohibits all contact, and requires him to surrender any firearms. He must also return electronic devices and delete certain materials from his devices. Phypers expressed disappointment with the ruling, stating that he knew the truth and that things would eventually be set right. As the legal battle raged on, both sides continued making additional claims against each other. Phypers has accused Richards of unfaithfulness, personal struggles, and unwanted tracking, including allegedly monitoring his vehicle. He's also claimed that he holds intellectual property rights to content used on her exclusive content page and deserves compensation. Richards has denied all of his counter-allegations, calling them baseless attempts to deflect from his own behavior. Meanwhile, the divorce proceedings continue to move forward, separate from both the protective order and the pending legal case. But the complications didn't end there. Adding another layer to this increasingly complex situation is Phypers' business background. In November 2024, a lawsuit was filed against him by Rupert Perry, whose late wife had received treatment at Quantum 360 that cost a staggering $126,000. According to the lawsuit, Phypers had allegedly promised the treatment would help with the woman's sarcoma condition, but the lawsuit claims it didn't work as promised and may have worsened her condition. By 2024, the wellness center had closed entirely, leaving questions about what really happened behind those doors. After months of silence, Richards spoke publicly about the situation for the first time at BravoCon in early November 2025. She told attendees that she was doing well and had a strong support system helping her through this difficult time. She acknowledged that dealing with such a personal matter in the public eye has been incredibly challenging, especially given that so much of their relationship had been documented on reality television. She expressed particular concern about how the situation has affected her daughters, who've had to watch their mother's private pain become public entertainment. just when it seemed like things couldn't get more complicated, they did. In early November, both Richards and Phypers were also named in an eviction lawsuit for allegedly owing $84,000 in back rent, adding yet another legal complication to their already messy situation. So, what actually happened in this marriage? That's the question everyone's asking, and the truth is, we may never know the complete picture. In family law cases like this, there are often two very different versions of events, and the reality usually lies somewhere in the details. Richards has presented her account, backed by photographic evidence and testimony from at least one witness, someone from Phypers' own family no less. A judge found sufficient evidence to grant a 5-year restraining order, which is not something courts take lightly. Serious charges have been filed, though Phypers has not been convicted and is presumed innocent until proven guilty. On the other hand, Phypers has consistently maintained his innocence and denies all allegations of mistreatment. He's made counter-allegations of his own, which Richards firmly denies. Both sides will continue to present their cases in court, and ultimately, it will be up to judges and juries to determine what really happened behind closed doors. What we can say with certainty is that this situation highlights several important issues that go beyond just celebrity gossip. First, it shows how difficult it can be to truly know what's happening in anyone's relationship, even when portions of it are documented on reality television. Richards and Phypers appeared together on TV, looking happy and content just months before their separation. The smiles, the affection, the seemingly perfect life, it all looked so real. Second, it demonstrates the complexity of relationship disputes, where there are often conflicting accounts and the truth can be incredibly difficult to establish. Third, it raises serious questions about reality television and whether the pressure of living life on camera might contribute to relationship stress and conflict. The legal proceedings are far from over, and the road ahead looks long and complicated. Phypers faces serious charges that could result in significant consequences if he's convicted. The divorce will need to be finalized, with decisions about asset division and spousal support still to be determined. And the restraining order will remain in place for the next 5 years, keeping them legally separated by court mandate. For Denise Richards, this represents another challenging chapter in a life that's had plenty of public ups and downs. From her Hollywood career to her previous high-profile marriage to Charlie Sheen to her time on Real Housewives, she's dealt with personal matters playing out in the public eye before. But this situation seems different. More serious, more personal, more painful. She's stated she's focusing on her daughters and moving forward with her life and career, trying to reclaim some sense of normalcy in what has become an incredibly abnormal situation. For Aaron Phypers, he faces the most serious legal challenges of his life. With charges pending and a permanent restraining order in place, the outcome of these cases will significantly impact his future in ways that could last far beyond the courtroom. He continues to maintain his innocence and has indicated he believes the truth will eventually emerge in his favor. But the path to proving that truth will be long and difficult. This story serves as a powerful reminder that celebrity relationships, despite how they appear on social media or reality TV, can be just as complicated and difficult as anyone else's. Maybe even more so given the public pressure. The veneer of perfection we see in carefully curated posts and edited television episodes doesn't always reflect the reality of what's happening behind closed doors. Whether you believe Richards' account, Phypers' denials, or find the truth somewhere in between, this case illustrates that we often don't know nearly as much about other people's lives as we think we do, even when they're living those lives in the public eye. The courts will continue to sort through the evidence and testimonies to determine what happened in this marriage. Until then, both Richards and Phypers will continue dealing with the legal and personal fallout from a relationship that began with hope and promise, but ended in allegations, restraining orders, and serious charges. It's a Hollywood story, but one without a clear ending yet, and one that reminds us that real life is rarely as simple as the edited versions we see on our screens. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more content, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. I'll see you in the next one.